Welcome to my very messy desk. I wanted to just do a quick flip through today because I've been working on my journals. I won't lie, after I did 2 of my craft with me's, I totally got into this weird, overly intimidated mindset, intense imposter syndrome basically. Here's some little cute thingies I made. And it's just taken me a little bit to get out of that. And it's not that I'm even out of it, but rather I just decided that the only way I'm gonna get out of imposter syndrome is by taking action and doing the thing. Because if I continue to use it as an excuse to not show up, that I'm not actually overcoming anything. So here I am, going ahead and showing you what I've worked on lately and seeing if there's any finishing touches that we can add in together. And if not, then I guess this will just be a flip through. So first off, I made the most wee little junk journal. And I think I was watching, who was I watching? I think I was watching the Paper Outpost, where she was talking about the difference between junk journals and handmade journals. And I loved it because I feel like I make handmade journals. Partially because it's not fair to say it's a junk journal if some of the stuff is purchased, if some paper is purchased or something like that. At the same time, I feel like some things are just crafted things, and also that's not blood, that's watercolor. I'm trying to make some papers and they're just in my basement. If it requires too many other materials, then I just don't feel like it's a junk journal, because I don't have a ton of dies, I don't have any stencils, I don't have well, I have one embossing folder and it looks like a tag, I think. But I don't have any of those things, and I feel like it doesn't discredit the fact that it's a handmade journal, but that it's not necessarily a junk journal if it's not made from a whole bunch of found or reused materials. I don't have any judgment about it. Obviously, I'm telling you that like mine is not a junk journal because I feel like I bought stuff and I used materials, so I'm like, that's not fair for me to call it that. That's how I feel about it. So for me, I would say this is a junk journal / handmade journal. And I made this little tie to go around it. I really want to learn how to crochet lace. This one's kind of wonky. I started out kind of strong and then it got wonky right there. But I do like the stitches overall. And then I just looped it together at the ends so that I could wrap it around. The outside of this is made from an envelope and a little bit of cardstock. Let's go ahead and do a little flip through and see if there's anything that we can work on. So the first page has a little bitty collage and then a tiny pocket. And I don't think is that a pocket there too? It is a little, that's a little collage. This is a little journaling tag with a tuck spot. There we go, it can go in sideways like that. And on the back of it has a little bit of lines. This is a pocket. And there's a spot here, and then a tiny little collage journaling tag. Maybe, I guess that's probably what I'd call it, a little journaling card, but it's also kind of a tag. I really liked this little bitty collage. I did a little bitty belly band, and I had done a tiny collage here, but when I added the cheesecloth, it totally covered it up, and I had to use tweezers to even do this collage. I probably should stop saying tiny. A little bitty concertina for a journaling spot here. The next page has a label that I had to cut in half so it would fit, along with this wee pocket and this little bit of paper. I did page here, but I didn't put anything inside because it was getting too thick very quickly. So inside is just, I guess if you want to write secret things. I liked using this. I used scrap for my stickers. I had fussy cut a sticker out, and then I have the white part around the sticker still, so I used that to attach them there. This part was a little tricky because the flowers are very thin, so I had to make some little circles to go around. There we go. I just spent way too long in my basement going through this old box of letters and playbills, and I definitely found stuff for my grief book. I had found some things from my mother that were in there. And then more excitingly, I found a whole bunch of old cards from people that are still my friends now, and I think that that's really exciting. I'm going to be putting those into other things. A little top tuck with the card. This part's my favorite. I did a corner pocket, but then I made the tiniest specimen card that I possibly could. Oh, I am pretty excited about this. I did a little bitty collage on the back. Couldn't do too much. I probably should have collaged first and then done other things. I'm not sure, actually. I'll maybe watch somebody else do it. Everybody does things a different way, so I don't feel like there's a right or wrong way. There's just going to be a way that works better for me. I did this triangle fold where you can pull it out and have more space. I like that for writing tiny messages. All right, he was just coming in to get some water. Sometimes he's kind of loud, so I just want to make sure that I don't have to edit a whole bunch of stuff. It's just easier to cut it and come back. So this next one, I did a little swirly tab with my brad, though I guess I did glue that over. Well, there we go. Open up to a tiny envelope and show that a little closer. Little bitty envelope right there, and we tuck it in there and slide that back over to hold it in place. Like this is just a tab to hold it in place. This was a little belly band with a little bitty piece of paper for journaling. This does have a pocket, but I haven't put anything in it. Right there is a pocket, and right there is a pocket. And this one is a little tab that it's from the other side of that label that I cut. It slide over so that you have a journaling spot there, and you can even flip it back over this way so that it opens all the way. Then it will close again just by sliding it back over. And then I made a tag. And this collage actually did kind of stay on there. There it is. There's a pocket with a book page, a ticket, and then another little collage with a pocket, and then a paper pack. And right here is a little belly band, because at this point I had to, again, make sure that I wasn't going too crazy with it and getting too thick, because I was already getting too thick. So that is something I am making note of. When I work on these next 4 books, or 5 books, because I have the bodies of them already made, I think I'm not going to worry about making them too thick or crazy. Just going to focus on keeping them thin and filling them up with little pockets. But in the future, I'm probably going to build the signatures first so that I can make the cover around it, since I apparently have a habit of making everything a little too thick. There we go. That's all I am going to share today, because let's get real, it is really hard to balance motherhood and YouTube and having your own business and making things as well as personal things. School started this week, and I have a lot of mixed feelings about my daughter going to school, and it's just a lot, I think, a lot of feelings. I'm trying to make the best choices, and I'm also trying to give my body rest for all of the stress and anxiety of that, but I also have to actually be productive and make stuff still. So, you know, we can only be so productive. Since this actually is already so short, let's go ahead and work on this other little book I have. So I have this little one, it has uneven stitching, but I think I might just cover that with material. I've already started in it making some collages, put in a journaling card as a tuck spot. Oh, this is another pocket. Something can go there. Let's see. For now, I have these little bookmarks. Let's put this little bookmark in there, like that. And then something fun here. What could be some fun ephemera for that? Let's look. I've been cutting things out of magazines, but I don't want to use everything yet, especially stuff that's very colorful, because that's not what that's for. I'm going to use the colorful stuff for something else. Looks like it fits there. Yeah. And then I could even put... See, these are so wide. Feels like they deserve to have something a little wider. Ooh, I can actually use one of these. Is it pretty? That's nice. Let's go ahead and what I've been doing lately, because the vintage photo, I probably need to get walnut stain. I don't have that one. The vintage photo is very orangey yellow, and I've been kind of just blending because I want a darker brown. So I've just been doing some tappy taps on both sides. There we go. I have so many pockets and flips that I want to do, and I just can't do them now in these books because it will take up too much space. And I'm trying to also remember that I don't need to keep the thing as is. Like, something I can do to make sure that they aren't too thick is combine certain pockets and just stitch them together to make their own little pocket. And I think that that will be fun as well, without taking away from the quality of the book itself. Like, I do think that that could be glued right there, and I think that is a fun idea. And I'm wondering, should I do it on the side? How about we do one on the side? Let's go ahead and do this one. Because instead of building all the pockets on the pages and then feeling like I have to have everything super, or a super wide spine for it to fit in, I think what I can do right now is just some troubleshooting, is go ahead and make these pockets and make them out of the pages that are beside them, which is going to require a little bit more thinking than I've been doing. I love this pattern paper on the inside of some of these junk mail envelopes. I think it's so cool. Makes me happy. So I kind of want to keep that visible, especially since it's open like that. But something that can be done. Oh, well, see, I like that. I don't want that to change. So I thought we could make maybe a little accordion folder here to pop open. Yep, that's my partner. Ooh, we could do a little accordion folder here. Let's try that. I don't think that anyone has ever had a problem, oops, let's close those, with somebody trying something new. Because why not? We would get nowhere if we didn't experiment every now and then. Otherwise, we could just see all of the things that we do as mistakes, and sometimes they're not mistakes. So let's do that. And then let's fold. I'm trying to see in my head how that needs to go. So then that'll need a little flap there, right? And then we'll need to fold it back down like that. There. Yes. Oh, but even still, there would still need to be something here. What if we just stitch some material right there and close off that pocket? That sounds like a fun thing to do. Let's go ahead and glue that right there. Oops. Okay. Let's glue it. And then definitely maybe some scrap. That's too small. I have some bigger. Ooh, I have this pretty stout gray material. Just like how thick it is. Isn't it kind of too big? It is a little too thick. Maybe I could do it kind of in bands. No, I don't think so. I'd rather have something that I'm not having to wholly, just surely there's a piece of something, you know, that's already closer to what I need. Maybe that. Let's just do this little piece of chiffon. So we'll go ahead and see how much I need right there. All right. I feel like every time I record a craft with me, I have different scissors. And it's because I am the worst at knowing where my scissors are. So right now I don't know where the ones are that I usually use for material. I use these for tiny things. I have another pair somewhere that I would like to find. I am going to be right back. I gotta get a needle. Hilariously enough, earlier I think I dropped a needle, but I can't find it. So we're just going to find that needle later. I heard it fall. So I know it's around there somewhere. Let's see. This one's pretty thick. Oh, and it has some kind of pretty light blue embroidery thread. I like this. All right, so let's go ahead and do maybe a little knot. There we are. Just a tiny one, maybe? I wonder if I should have done that knot at all. Now I'm thinking about, what's her name? Katerina Giglio? And how she always says she doesn't do knots because she loves all the little loose hanging threads. I'm like, oh no. See, I don't know if you noticed, but that's the thing, is that like now that I'm working on these things, there's all these things popping in my head where I have so much admiration for so many different artists, and I absolutely adore everything they create, but at the same time I'm watching myself doubt my ideas, wondering if would somebody else, would so-and-so, would Pam from the Paper Outpost do this? Would Corey Dahman? Would Eve from Bohemian Crafting? And then I end up getting more nervous. But I don't want to, I guess, I don't want to tell myself, oh, look, you're doing the same thing. So rather, instead, what I'm telling myself is that I'm noticing it pretty early on and then deciding to do it anyway. And I am proud of myself for that. Because instead of just allowing myself to be, you know, stuck in that, frozen in that state of imposter syndrome and allow it to make me not work on things that I want to make. See, that little fold actually didn't matter now because of this. It does mean that something can be kind of thicker in there though. Actually, I think it is still useful. Then I will continue to build trust with myself and also just actually get better. You know, if I'm going to feel like an imposter, nothing I can do. There's nothing to do to beat that other than keep doing so that I improve. So, imposter syndrome is a funny little beast because it tells you you're not good enough and makes you stop so that you don't ever actually get better. And that's not what I'm about. I don't want to do that. I was feeling that way with YouTube, and that's why I'm going ahead and making this video. I'm using this video to fight my own imposter syndrome as I work on this book to also fight my imposter syndrome because it's another thing that I was nervous about. And that's all I can really ask of myself is to take action. There we are. I think I might see what else I could do to another page on here because now I'm worried about this video being too long. Well, actually, I am worried about this video being too long. We'll go ahead and stop it here. I'll do another little flip through so that you can see the rest of this book so that when I show you updates on it, you can see that because that might be fun. There we are. Now we have a cool little pocket. Ooh, actually, I might do something real quick. Get my little circle puncher. This is something I do like that I have. I have a giant circle puncher, and if anybody watching knows why sometimes they just stop working, I would really love some tips because not a giant one, but I have a 1.5 inch. This is my 1 inch. And I just don't even know what to do with it because it just stopped working. This is my little stampy stamp. There we go. I don't know if you can tell now, but if you can see that kind of, here, let's do a little closer. That brown and black combo, I think it just gives it a really nice color. It's not too dark. That's been my thing with the walnut stain, is that I feel like the walnut stain is dark. and I don't always want to do that. I also want to play around with different colors. Totally got those other inks. Haven't done it yet. I will, though. I will. That looks neat. And I might go ahead and add some fun to these edges. There we are. Let's see if I can do it there too. Wondering about this material. I thought about gluing it down, but I kind of like the way it looks loose. So maybe I'm not gonna. Maybe I'm not gonna. I also might change my mind, and that's okay. We're gonna focus on the base of this book first. Because ultimately what I don't want to do is, I don't know if you can see that, but all I did was this first page, and it's already getting chunked. And I want to mix up my pages that are chunky so that I don't repeat my mistakes, which is why I'm going to, oh, I also did some fun little guys. I bet I could add some, oh, I have ideas. Okay, I have ideas. I think it'll be okay. I am going to work on this book off camera and then come back later with an update. I'm not a fan of this construction paper, but it's too late. I've already used it. So now I gotta find a way to make it interesting. I don't want to do another pocket. Should I do another pocket? I have now this little one, which I don't know if I even like that it has that envelope bit right here. Though I can use it for collaging somehow. I'm gonna have to brainstorm that as well. I love the texture and the colors of the coffee dyed paper. I don't really want to do much with that. That way that's there. I might do something here. I like the idea of this being a side pocket. I might put some tags in there and also leave this semi-plane for a writing spot. Might collage here, which will also reinforce the glue. That way it never doesn't come loose. I like this page because it's art decorated. The black and the white pages I do like. This is when it gets tricky for me, because sometimes I like the papers I put in all on their own, and then I gotta figure out what to do. But I do think that there's some fun stuff I can do on these little short ones, where I can attach some actual fold-out fun bits, and we'll see how that works. Again, I'm trying to not overfill it, as I keep doing already, since now I know I'm going to need to be more conscientious of that in the future. I'll just make the pages and the pockets and the flips and then build them all together with the book. All right, now I am gonna stop. But thank you so much for watching as I work on fighting my imposter syndrome, and I'm making myself show up anyway. I hope you liked meeting my wee little baby book. It's so cute. I am really happy with this little book. And saw a little brainstorming process on what I'm going to do for these to keep them from getting too chunky, but they do already have signatures and the cover. So, God, you know, we're figuring out what to do. If you have ideas, or if you know what to do when that happens without having to completely take apart the entire book and remake a cover, I would really love some advice. Because I have 4 books now that I feel really nervous about working in, and that's the only problem, is that I'm worried about overfilling. Oh, now I didn't say this earlier, but I'm Ren, this is Grunge Granny, and thank you for watching. See you next time, bye!